Ah, yes. Another day. Another stream. Yeah. Wait, what? What the hell? The hell? Are we live? Are we not live? The fuck? What the hell? What the hell was that? Like had me in some kind of limbo. Did you guys see that? I was talking to y'all for a hot minute there. And then it's like, it's just showing, I don't know, that we're live, but nothing's happening. It was so weird. It was so dang weird, everybody. But anyway. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the stream. I hope you guys are doing well. Hanging out on a Wednesday. Should be a good one. Just kind of chilling. Hope everybody had a good Halloween. I saw a lot of fun costumes. We did our little costume yesterday as Vegeta, Bulma, and Baby Trunks. Pretty cool stuff. What Stream Deck do I use? It's still odd. It shows that the stream has 1.8k likes already. What the fuck? That's weird. That is quite strange. I know, little Baby Trunks, huh? Super cute. Super cute. Thank you, Lady Malfoy. Invincible watch party. You know, I would be down for an Invincible watch party, but I still don't know when the show actually comes out. Does anybody know when the show drops? We're going to be rough today. Might have celebrated a little too much. Ooh, I've been there before. What's good, Townsend Mr. Griffin? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. Midnight? That's a little too late. It's a little too late for me. Oh, thank you, Ralphie. What's up, Justin? What if when Invincible travels to the multiverse, he ends up in the Unity universe? That would be pretty crazy, considering that we are crafting that universe right now. I'd be like, Robert Kirkman, what? Are you under the bed? Is Robert Kirkman under the bed? When did the Adam and Eve special drop? It actually dropped earlier, I think. I think it dropped like 7 or 8. Riley's Diamond, let's go. Can you keep the scouter and every time Disney shoots themselves in the foot, you pull it out and scan them for BS levels? All KK movies are over 9,000. Yeah, the scouter's pretty cool. You know, one of the things that was difficult was the scouter and the wig combo, though. That was kind of tough to pull off, I'm being honest. Like, because you got to, like, have the scouter as, like, a headband thing, and then you put the hood on, or the thing on, and it was, like, busting it up. It's like, oh, man. I'm glad you saw my little snaps and I on Twitter. Yeah, dude, that was cool. That was real cool, man. Yeah, Halloween's kind of fun in that way, where you just kind of get to dress up. It's like a extra day of Comic-Con for some of us, because usually folks that are nerdy go with nerdy costumes and stuff like that. So that's usually how we do it. Did I see the new Marvel spot that's teasing the X-Men? Yeah, I did. I wanted to talk about that. So here's what's on the schedule for today, guys. I want to talk about Invincible Season 2. And I have a video pulled up. You know what I was looking for was like a video that can break down like predictions and preview and like stuff like that for Invincible Season 2. I have one up from Paul from 2 years ago, which we can watch. Invincible is unique in a way that a lot of people already know the comic book, right? The comic book's been out for a long, long time, so a lot of people already know that. And I think especially with that 2-year break, a lot of folks went and read the entirety of the Invincible run, right? Which I'm curious, did any of you guys do that? Like after that, did you go and read the whole comic book run? That's what somebody did there, yeah. Daniel! It's good to see you, man. Did it 2 weeks ago? Yeah, so I've read ahead a little bit. I'm not all the way to the end of it, but I've read ahead. So it's kind of interesting in that sense where a lot of people already know a lot of the things that are going to happen. But what Kirkman said, and I pulled up an article too that I'd like to go over with that. What Kirkman said is there is some new stuff. He added some new elements. And I think one of them is the multiverse. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know how to read. Oof, that's tough, bro. That is a tough one. Hooked on phonics. You know, certain, maybe try some Miss Rachel. You know, that could be the move. Can I talk about the Marvel's plot leak? I'm going to be honest, dude. I don't really want to talk about the Marvel's plot leak. I'll talk about Marvel and how they keep spoiling all of their stuff because they're kind of desperate for people to go check it out. I'll talk about that. But I don't really want to talk about the whole plot leak. There's plenty of videos out there about that. There's plenty of people talking about that. So just got here, was in a meeting about mindfulness, leadership, and breathing exercises. So let me ask you, how was your blood pressure during that, Trev? Huh? How was your blood pressure? No, it's a Daredevil hat. How was your blood pressure, Trev? Were they trying to calm you down and be mindful and you were just like murking out? So that's one of the things I want to talk about is the Invincible Season 2. And also, if there's a good video out there that we should watch, guys, let me know. I see one from CBR. That's Invincible Season 2 Theories that could change everything from about a year ago. So we could check that out. There's one from Paul that we could check out. So I wanted to talk about that. I also want to talk about Loki Episode 5 because I'm pretty excited for it. I actually think it's going to be super dope. We'll do a watch party for that tomorrow night. And then I wanted to talk about Marvel kind of spoiling their stuff in their trailers. It's kind of wild. I kind of feel like, you know that scene in Endgame where Thanos says, "You couldn't live with your own failure." And where did that take you? Back to me. You know, that scene? I almost feel that way right now towards Kevin Feige. Where I know Kevin Feige for the longest time hated leaks, despised leaks. Would even change things in the movies and shows sometimes if stuff leaked out really early. And now, all of a sudden, look where that has taken him. Back to me. Back to spoilers to try to sell your movies and shows. Because, damn, they are going pretty wild with that stuff. Both the Marvels trailer, which I thought the Marvels trailer before this one was already, getting there. I was like, dang, that's getting there. Pretty spoilery. But definitely the most recent one, bro, we're being what did they say? We're being visited by another reality, or another reality is bleeding into ours. I mean, bro, they're just doing it right there in your face, and it's kind of crazy. And of course, with the Loki trailer as well, they put it right in your face also. So yeah, kind of crazy. Kind of crazy that they would go that way, huh? But I suppose they're really trying to tap into more of the hype energy, which I've always said is a positive side of, the leaks and the rumors. So we'll just see. I actually felt like that last Marvels trailer was pretty dang good. It made me think what could have been if they had focused entirely on some incursions, multiversal stuff, right? If they had done something like that, man, I really think the film would have succeeded more than it's going to. I guess we don't really know how it's going to do. How many of you guys are going to go see it next week? I'm actually super curious. Let's go to the polls on that one. Let's go to the polls on that one. Do you think we need Michael Ironside voicing Conquest? I mean, that's not a bad idea. All right, let's see here. Are you the Marvels? Opening weekend. Opening weekend, ladies and gentlemen. Are you going to see the Marvels? Can someone hook me up with a Discord link? Yeah, somebody hook them up with a link, man. Let me see if I can get one. Let me see if I can get one. Okay, I got a link. I'll drop a link in there. This one on the bot might be... Everybody's hitting that code, huh? Yeah, I don't know. That one might be rough or whatever. Looks like we got a few news. Did you hear about the Jonathan Majors thing? Is there anything new with Jonathan Majors? Because as far as I understand it, his court case is now set for the 29th. That's the newest bit. When does the Marvels come out? Next Thursday. Wait a minute. 60% of you are not going to see it opening weekend? Oh my goodness. Now, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this 60% mother truckers. What would it take? What would it take to get you there opening weekend? What would it take? Is there anything? Could they do anything? Could they add in a few more X-Men? About $1,000? Damn! $2 tickets? Damn! Free tickets? Damn! New Variety article just dropped. Okay, about Jonathan Majors? We can check it out. I'll check out the Jonathan Majors article as long as you guys promise to be good, you know? Every time we start talking about Jonathan Majors, you guys start going crazy. Brie Larson lap dance. Interesting. Okay, interesting. Decent first reviews. Okay, so if it comes out in like the 90s on Rotten Tomatoes, nude Marvels. Jacob, money! You thirsty! Oh, about Marvel as a whole? Okay. We could probably dive into that. Is it a little doom and gloom or what? Josh, you must watch Blue Beetle. How many of you guys have seen Blue Beetle? Is Blue Beetle must watch? You guys tell me. Is Blue Beetle must watch? I was under the impression it was maybe watch. Dang, dude, 61% of you guys? Wow. So there's really nothing we can do to get you guys there, huh? Because, you know, like Marvel's, you know, I'm a shill now, okay? So I'm a big old shill. So, you know, we talk behind the scenes and everything, and basically they're like, what the fuck do we have to do? We'll fight for our fucking lives out here! You know, like it's bad. It's not looking good. So I'm like, I'll see what I can do. You know, I'll see what I can do. I'll be positive about that most recent trailer. I'll put out a few tweets in here. You know, it's going to cost you guys. So I'm trying to see what I can do with you guys, you know? I don't think I can get the lap dance going on. $2 tickets. That's interesting. Breeze feet. Okay, wow. Well, I think a couple of you are going to go see it for different reasons. Bro, no one needs money for I lost my job and I'm still seeing it. Damn, there you go, Jack. There you go, man. Oh my God, dude. Some of y'all are wild. What is in the water? What is happening in Nerdvengers Tower this morning? Holy shit. Y'all be thirsty, man. Yeah, dude. Yeah, tell him, Elisa. Tell him. Tell him. You know what, though? I gotta say, it's kind of interesting, right? Because, like, you know, some of you guys are just, you know, wilding out here on a Wednesday morning. But I wonder if there's any truth to if the ladies were all a little sexed up, let's say. Right? I wonder if we could fix this this problem. You know? So I'll sit the next time I have my shill check meeting with them. I'll sit there and I'll be like, yo, what if we made these costumes look like they were trying to go to a Halloween party and get laid? And they'd probably be like jaws on the floor and everything. And I'd be like, look, do you guys want to know what's really going on in the streets? Or do you just want to sit up here in your ivory fucking towers and make everything not sexy anymore? We've got assets here, people. You know what I mean? Break it down to them from a business perspective. You've got assets! And you're covering them up! Jesus, this is going to get clipped out. I'm trying to help. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to help. Like, listen, Marvel, listen. You're at the point where you're putting, fucking your post-credit scenes in your trailers. You got Thanos and Iron Man telling people that their peepees will grow bigger if they go to see this movie. Nothing's working. Nothing's tracking. You're trying everything you can, and nobody seems to care. That's what I'm here for, okay? I'm here to try to help translate from the common man and woman to these ivory tower Hollywood motherfuckers. You know? Like, I think if you really want to get creative, Marvel, let's do it. Let's get it. You want to really address the problems? You want to get in the trenches? I don't know. Just a thought. Just a thought. I mean, let's be real a little bit here, right? I mean, I'm not going to go too crazy. I don't want to go too crazy on spoilers. But, guys, I don't know if they scabbed this or not, but they're like doing last minute throw some goddamn X-Men into this thing, putting that out there through the rumorville, right? So they got fucking X-Men in this movie. They're doing trailers with Thanos and Iron Man and basically like, remember Endgame? This shit's gonna be dope like that was. Like, they're throwing everything they can into this movie, and it doesn't seem to be working. Although I wonder how it'll actually shake out next week. You know? I've even seen, because guys, do you realize that they used unused Thanos footage in the trailer? Did you guys know that? Unheard lines of dialogue from Thanos. Guys, they went into the vault. Like, Feige's like in the vault, and he's like pulling out like, oh fuck, like, Jesus, what's that domestic opener? Oh my God. Like, he's literally grabbing up stuff that wasn't even in the movies. I've seen people making videos like Thanos and the Marvels and shit. You know what I mean? Because of the new lines. Yeah. Yeah, it was I think it was in the last one or maybe the one before. I'm like weirdly excited for the Marvels now. I wonder if it's any good, or I wonder if it's just like goobly glob bullcrap. Because I mean, at this point with Marvel, right? Like, between Love and Thunder and Quantumania, like, we have a pretty low bar of like where this shit can end up, right? And it'll be as good as Guardians of the Galaxy? No way. No way. Are you really on that, Kendall? You really feel that way? Do you really feel that way, Kendall? Or are you just trying to trying to rile everybody up? Check on Doom? What do you mean? What's this Variety article about? Is this something we should be getting into like right away? Is there some crazy stuff going on here? Somebody link it to me on Twitter. I see the Hollywood Handle. Somebody. Wait, what? Oh my fucking God. Why didn't you guys tell me the Variety article was about Doctor Doom? Oh my goodness. We're going to end this stream. I got to go do a video. Where's this Variety art? Dude. First of all, chat, shut your mouth when you're talking to me, okay? Second of all, yay! From 2014? Don't do this to me, Kendall! Oh, Toby Kell to play Fantasy Football. Oh, no, that's from 2014. Nah, it's gotta be, it's new. They're saying it's new. Somebody link it to me! On Discord or on Twitter! Yeah, or I mean, in the YouTube chat works. Oh shit! You guys ready? Are we about to lose our minds here? I didn't wear my brown pants, and I feel like I should have. So I'm about to crap my pants. Yo! Hang on. Kill the music for this one. This is serious. And also, maybe I'll clip this out for a video, you guys. You know what I mean? Okay. Okay, let's look at this. Crisis at Marvel. Jonathan Majors' backup plans. The Marvels reshoots. Reviving original Avengers. And more issues revealed. Interesting. Okay, first thing I'll say. We're at a really interesting juncture with Marvel, of course. Things are not going well. Now, you could look at this article one of two ways. Number one, this could actually be cover for Marvel Studios. The trades do have relationships with the studios. Marvel's one of the biggest, most successful studios in Hollywood. So this could be damage control. This could be to kind of say, hey, yeah, things are not going well. Here's some reasons why things are bad. And also, here's some things to look forward to. So it could be that. It also could be just, man, we're at a place right now where Marvel doesn't have the same ability to stop things like this from coming out there. You know, Variety might have said, you know, we're going ahead with this, and Marvel just had to kind of sit back and take it. Let's get into the article and let's see what it's about. Okay, this past September, a group of Marvel creatives, including studio chief Kevin Feige, assembled in Palm Springs for the studio's annual retreat. Most years, the vibe would have been confident, even cocky, given how the premier superhero brand owned by Disney since 2009 has remade the entertainment business in its image. It's true. Wow, were they successful. Pretty wild. But this occasion was angst-ridden. Everyone at Marvel was reeling from a series of disappointments on screen, a legal scandal involving one of its biggest stars, and questions about the viability of the studio's ambitious strategy to extend the brand beyond movies into streaming. But the most pressing issue to be discussed at the retreat was what to do about Jonathan Majors, the actor who had been poised to carry the next phase of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but instead is headed to a high-profile trial in New York later this month on domestic violence charges. The actor insists that he is the victim, but the damage to his reputation and the chance he could lose the case has forced Marvel to reconsider its plans to center the next phase of its interlocking slate of sequels, spin-offs, and a series around Major's villainous character, Kang, the boring-as-fuck villain that they never should have picked in the first place. I mean, Kang the Conqueror. Sorry. Okay. Let's stop for a second here before we move forward. Damn, that's interesting. As far as Majors itself, maybe they'll talk more about this in the article in a second here, but from my perspective, guys, and it is just my perspective, it doesn't look good for Jonathan Majors. Multiple delays, and, you know, he has tried multiple times to get this case thrown out. They did serve a warrant, I believe, for his ex, but as soon as that all kind of showed up at the DA's office, the DA throws that out. They're not going to charge her or even look at that case for her as the actual one that abused. And I don't know, just from some of the stuff I'm hearing, I don't think it seems good for majors at all. And on top of that, I know that Marvel Studios was looking closely at what was happening with The Flash, different situations, but the similarity is here's a person that is starring in a big thing that has a ton of controversy around them. How did this thing perform? The Flash was rejected by audiences. Even on digital, nobody watched that movie. Big bomb, massive losses for Warner Brothers. And I think the other thing they were thinking about was Loki Season 2. They're trying to see how the viewership is for Loki Season 2. What are the conversations around Jonathan's performance in Loki Season 2? And the Loki Season 2 numbers so far are not very good. I wonder if Disney is attributing that at all to majors. I think that would be hard to do. He's only been in, one episode at this point, about to be in a few more. Not really using a lot of marketing. So I highly doubt it's about majors. But regardless, I guess the numbers going down for Loki could also spell some real trouble for majors. You know what I mean? Okay, let's keep going. At the gathering in Palm Springs, executives discussed backup plans, including pivoting to another comic book adversary like Doctor Doom. But making any shift would carry its own headaches. Majors was already a big presence in the MCU, including the scene-stealing antagonist in February's Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. And he has been positioned as the franchise's next big thing in this season of Loki, particularly in the finale, which airs on November 9th and sets up Kang as the titular star of the fourth Avengers movie. Marvel is truly... Oh, man, this is so... Oh, shit, here we go. You know it's wild when they're giving quotes like this, right? Marvel is truly fucked with the whole Kang angle. One top deal maker who has seen the finale Loki episode, and they haven't had an opportunity to rewrite until very recently because of the WGA strike. But I don't see a path to how they move forward with him. Beyond the bad press for majors, the brain trust at Marvel is also grappling with the November release of The Marvels, a sequel to 2019's blockbuster Captain Marvel that has been plagued with lengthy reshoots and now appears likely to underwhelm at the box office. And that's on you, chat. Marvel, if you're watching this, I did my part. I tried to shill as much as possible. I don't know. People aren't feeling it. Sorry about that, but I'm still going to need those shill checks. Okay, this is an all unprecedented turn of fortune for a company who has enjoyed nearly uninterrupted string of hits ever since it started independently producing movies with 2008's Iron Man. That wildly profitable run culminated in $2.8 billion success of 2019 Avenger Endgame, high water mark for the studio that has earned nearly $30 billion over 32 films. Replicating that kind of phenomenon is never easy. However, the source of Marvel's current troubles can be traced back to 2020. That's when the COVID pandemic ushered in its mandates to help boost Disney's stock price with an endless torrent of interconnected Marvel content for the studio's fledgling streaming platform, Disney+. According to the plan, there would never be a lapse in superhero fare with either a film in theaters or a new television series streaming at any given moment. But the ensuing tsunami of spandex proved to be too much of a good thing. I like that. And the demand of churning out so much programming taxed the Marvel apparatus. Moreover, the need to tease an interwoven storyline over so many disparate shows, movies, platforms created muddled narrative that baffled viewers. Absolutely. The Marvel machine was pumping out a lot of content. Did it get to the point where there was just too much and there were burning people out on superheroes? It's possible, says Wall Street analyst Eric Handler, who covers Disney. The more you do, the tougher it is to maintain quality. They tried experimenting with breaking in new characters like Shang-Chi and the Eternals with mixed results. The budgets are as big as these. You need home runs. Yeah, that's a big problem. It's like, maybe Eternals would have been fine if the budget was like $100 million. You know, I heard it was 2+ reshoots. So, I mean, you're probably looking at that 3-4 price tag when all is said and done with marketing. And that's just absurd for an unproven franchise. I mean, I guess from Marvel's perspective, though, they were on top of the world. They felt like they couldn't miss. So that's why they were doing that, right? The Marvels, which opens in theaters on November 10th, will struggle to get past the ball past the infield, at least by Marvel's outsized standards. The movie, which cost $250 million, and sees Brie Larson reprising her role as Captain Marvel, is tracking to open $75 million to $80 million, far below the $185 million Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness took in domestically in its debut weekend last year. Yeah, dude. Multiverse of Madness was a huge movie. I know some of you guys don't like it. You're wrong. I mean, everybody's entitled to their opinions except about that movie because it's excellent and you guys are crazy if you don't see it. Huge hit for Marvel. And to see a similar movie the following year coming in 100 million under, I mean, what did the first one open to? Probably like 120, 150. Yeah, it's just really not good. Directed by Nia DaCosta, The Marvels unites Larson's heroine with two superpowered allies, Teyonah Parris's Monica Rambeau, respectfully, introduced in WandaVision, and Iman Vellani's Kamala Khan, which was in Miss Marvel. But instead of seamlessly building on the success of Captain Marvel, this movie resulted in 4 weeks of reshoots to bring coherence to a tangled storyline. The eyebrows were raised again when DaCosta began working on another film. While The Marvels was still in post-production, the filmmaker moved to London earlier this year and began prepping for her Tessa Thompson drama, Hida, represented for DaCosta declined to comment. Man, I'll tell you, I think there's bad blood all around on this movie. You know, Marvel's going to act like it's not real, but I mean, look what just happened with Secret Invasion, and we've heard the horror stories of that and how the writers even walked off and just how absolutely absurd it was. Real quick question for you guys in chat. Do you guys remember when Snyder reported that there was beef between Teyonah and Brie, and there was some weird issues going on there? Do you guys remember this? Jeff Snyder? And everybody got all upset. Everybody got all mad. It's like they were like, Jeff Snyder's a hack. Jeff Snyder doesn't know what he's talking about. And then like 2 weeks later, he did a scoop that everybody liked and they just ignored it and were like, oh, dude, Jeff Snyder's the best. Let's talk about his shit. So a couple of different things on that. Number one, I've heard Grace talk about this in her streams where essentially from what she said, there were some action scenes that were given to Monica over Brie, and apparently Brie was pretty pissed off about that, and a lot of the focus of the action, and I think probably a big focus of the film in general, is on Monica. I mean, if you think about the post-credit scene and some of the stuff that even leaked out, it seems like they set up some really cool stuff for Monica and probably not for Brie. I don't really know like the ins and outs of that, but it seems pretty plausible to me that that's a source of the frustration and a source of the anger. I also have heard in the past, and I wonder how true this is, but I have heard in the past that Kevin Feige absolutely loves Brie Larson and that he's like borderline a Brie Larson simp. Okay, so speculation here, speculation. But what I think might be happening is Nia DaCosta wants to build up and set up the Monica character and is enjoying doing that and kind of doing that within a Brie Larson movie. And maybe Kevin Feige gets Brie, you know, bitching to him about it, and then they come in and try to reshoot it a little bit to make everybody happy and to make it more cohesive. I bet Nia DaCosta, because she's already said some weird stuff about the movie. I feel like she's low-key throwing shade already. And that's probably why Nia's like, well, you all can finish that shit. I'm going to go do this other thing, which I'm going to say probably didn't help anything. You know what I mean? So real interesting. I wonder if they're going to talk about that at all, but wild that Nia DaCosta literally goes and just starts making another movie while they're still trying to get this one sorted out. That's wild to me. If you're directing a $250 million movie, it's kind of weird for the director to leave a few months to go, says a source familiar with the production. Yeah, pretty weird, I'll say. The Marvels has seen its release date move back twice, too. Once to swap places with Quantumania, which was deemed further along, and again, when it debuted, shifted from July to November to give the filmmakers more time to tinker. But that extra time didn't necessarily help. In June, Marvel, which traditionally only solicits feedback from Disney employees and their friends and families, by the way, that's where all these stupid anonymous scooper accounts come from. They're friends and family to Disney employees that have access to screening information. It's so frustrating that those people exist. Took the uncharacteristic step of holding a public test screening in Texas. The audience gave the film middling reviews. What? So they had a public test screening of the Marvels in Texas? Oh my God, bro. That's wild. That is absolutely wild. Oh my goodness. But Marvel has never been in the business of being average. Kevin's real superpower, his genius, has always been in post-production and getting his hands on movies and making sure they finish strongly, the source adds. These days, he's spread thin. Feige declined to comment on this story. Yeah, no, I mean, it's true. It's true. He is spread too thin. He is the magic sauce of Marvel. I know some people like Trev don't believe it, but it's true. He is the one that pulled it all together in the Infinity Saga, and he's just frankly spread too thin. I also think he's just given up on some battles over the past couple of years. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's just given up on some battles. Like, what is it even for if you've got a million other things that are maybe more important that you're worrying about? You know, like the Chloe Zhao thing, allowing the film to finish the way that she wanted. A lot of these things that we have heard about, you know, pretty wild. Feige isn't the only person showing signs of strange. Marvel's entire VFX battalion, including staffers and vendors, is struggling to keep the pace with a never-ending stream of productions. This past February, when the credits rolled at the world premiere of Quantumania, shock rippled through the recent Village Theater in Westwood over some shoddy CGI. There were at least 10 scenes where the visual effects had been added in the last minute and were out of focus, says one veteran power broker who was there. It was insane. I've never seen something like that in my entire career. Everyone was talking about it. Even the kids of executives were talking about it. Again, these damn kids of executives are these stupid scoopers. I know I probably shouldn't say that, and I'm trying to play more nice, but that's who they are. The schedule swaps with the Marvels. Oh, let me address this too. Quantumania is maybe one of the worst edited films I've ever seen. There were shots and cuts that made zero sense. Some of it was because of the CGI. I'm absolutely certain that some of it was because of the CGI. The only other movie that had just as bad of editing was the studio version of the Suicide Squad, the first one. Man, horrible edit job, which is why the Ayer cut is a thing that people want to see, because the studio came in there and hacksawed that movie. Pretty crazy. The schedule swap with the Marvels had left the Ant-Man sequel in a squeeze, pushing up its post-production schedule by 4.5 months. Oh, that seems fine. Yeah. Marvel films are known for coming down to the wire, given Feige's ability to foam the runway and land the plane that way. What? Says one familiar with how the company operates. But this level of unfinished was unprecedented and would be noted in scathing reviews when the tentpole with the $200 million budget opened 11 days after its premiere. Critics weren't the only one dismayed. Fed up with the 14-hour days and no overtime, Marvel VFX workers voted unanimously to unionize in September, sparking an industry-wide trend. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy, dude. The year 2023 was the straw that broke the camel's back, says former Marvel Studios VFX assistant coordinator Anna George, who appeared before the Congressional Labor Caucus on October 19th to testify about the studio's untenable deadlines and working conditions. The pay and long hours at Marvel were the reason we had to start our unionizing process there. The conditions were completely unsustainable. Disney's top brass, including newly returned CEO Bob Iger, was said to be apoplectic about Marvel's VFX troubles. What the hell does this mean? What's this mean? Resembling produce this relating to causing stroke associated. What the okay. About Marvel's VFX troubles, 1 month after the Quantumania premiere debacle, the guillotine fell on Victoria Alonso, who oversaw the studio's physical production, post-production, VFX animation. While the reason cited for her abrupt firing was her unauthorized role as an executive producer on the Oscar-nominated film Argentina 1985, insiders say Disney was incensed that quality control on its Marvel's production was plummeting, particularly on the ever-expanding TV front. The VFX logjam have been evident for some time, and with the final effects for such shows as WandaVision, She-Hulk, Attorney at Law inserted after their streaming debuts, that Alonso was busy promoting her art house project while Rome burned certainly didn't sit well with Disney leadership. Alonso's attorney says her client is unable to comment. Ooh. Again, there was some guy in here. I wonder if you guys remember this. There was some dude in here a couple of weeks back where I was talking about Victoria Alonso. It was the bridge comment. I went a little too far where I was like, if you really believe they fired her because she breached her contract to work on that stupid movie, I've got a bridge to sell you. Actually, I've got 14 bridges to sell you, you dumb motherfucker. I shouldn't have went that hard on him. Okay, I shouldn't have went that hard on him. But do you guys remember? And I wonder, are you in here, person? Because, hello, you know, like, come on, man. The so-called bad VFX we see was because of half-baked scripts. No one person involved with She-Hulk, that is not Victoria, that is Kevin. And even above Kevin, those issues should be addressed in pre-production. The timeline is not allowing the Marvel executives to sit with the material. Interesting. All the while, Marvel has been bleeding money with a single episode of She-Hulk costing some $25 million, dwarfing the budget of the final season episodes of Game of Thrones. Bro, it's out of control. No, I didn't know it was this bad. But without a similar zeitgeist bang, the August 2022 series premiere at the El Capitan Theater foreshadowed what was to come 6 months later at the Quantum Mania bow. The She-Hulk special effects were out of focus in multiple scenes. Yeah, they were pretty goobly glub. There are signs that the flood of production is leading people to tune out. I'm not prepared to call it a permanent fall, but based on the numbers that go with Marvel podcasts, the Marvel-based articles, friends who do Marvel-based video coverage, all of those numbers are significantly down, says Joanna Robinson, co-author of the New York Times bestseller, The MCU Reign of Marvel Studios. Yeah, I mean, it's literally down for all of us. You know what I mean? It is down for all of us, and this is why people like myself and others in the space have been kind of getting nervous and talking about the numbers. This is why, like, when I say Loki's viewership is not there, I'm talking about based on what I see from YouTube, how my videos perform, how my colleagues' videos perform. I talk to other YouTubers about this. We kind of have a like an early indicator of how this stuff sort of goes. And I think Joanna Robinson absolutely nails it. Like, she's speaking facts about why that matters. I know some of you guys get butthurt about that. Like, I was on some people on Twitter, like I was talking about the Loki trailer and how they were a little desperate. And there's people like, we don't know the Loki numbers. It's like, look, I'm not trying to offend you. I'm not trying to get you angry. But if anybody has an indication of how these shows are doing, it's YouTubers, particularly YouTubers that cover Marvel shows. Duh. So, yeah, no, I think that's pretty good quote to include. The Reign of Marvel Studios writer, podcaster, the quality is suffering. In 2019, at the peak, if you put Marvel Studios in front of something, people were like, oh, that brand means quality. That association is no longer the case because there have just been so many projects that felt half-baked and undercooked. Yeah, I think that's a huge part of it. I mean, you know, like I said, when it comes to the Marvels specifically, I definitely think there are people that are upset because they feel like it's pandering. I think at least 30% of those people that are super upset are going to go buy a ticket opening day and go make videos bitching about it. So it's like kind of, I don't know how many of them are actually like affecting the box office, but I do know that that's a part of it. But I think a bigger part of it is it just feels like another Marvel thing. It feels totally skippable. And you don't expect it to be incredible. Like, that's what it is at the end of the day. You don't expect it to be incredible. You expect it to just be another Marvel thing, which is horrible. That's why I've been saying, that's why I feel like they need to cancel some of these things, because they're overexposed, and a lot of this stuff is just making it worse for good projects. Like even Ahsoka. I know we're jumping into the Star Wars of it all, but it's true, man. Like I said this in a video yesterday. Ahsoka, like some of the shit that Ahsoka got is not Ahsoka's fault. It's Kenobi's fault. It's Book of Boba Fett's fault. It's Mando season 3's fault. In some ways, I think it's Andor's fault. Maybe for different reasons, but like when you get just mid after mid after mid, like how can you get up for the newest thing? You know what I mean? So like I think a lot of what happened to Ahsoka, not Ahsoka's fault. Even Secret Invasion, which is a pretty shitty show, I don't think Secret Invasion is so shitty to deserve the 4 worst Rotten Tomatoes scored episodes in the entire MCU. You know what I'm saying? Like, that feels like the cows coming home. That doesn't feel like a realistic, like, oh, well, we're going to just give this an objective review. It's like, no, it is the fact that Marvel has been, like she said, it's just felt half-baked for so long that your frustration's at a top level, man. Like, if you've ever had like a blow up in traffic, usually this isn't just one thing that happens and you're like, and you lose your shit with the traffic. It's a bunch of little things that add up to put you to a point where the pressure is so high that you're going to freak out over something that maybe you wouldn't have otherwise. That is happening to Marvel. That is happening to Star Wars. And it's like, that's why I'm like, yo, cancel this shit. Like, literally cancel it. And the thing that's frustrating is it feels like the corporate side, they don't understand that. They would never understand it. They're like, what are you talking about? This is product. This is content. We have paid for this. We want to put this out and keep getting Disney Plus subscriptions. But that's why it is important to have somebody that understands the brand, that's an ambassador for the brand. I would love it if Feige sort of stood up to Iger and was like, hell no, bro. Like, we got to cancel some of this shit. I don't think it's going to happen, but I think that's a big part of the problem. As public criticism mounts, Feige is pulling the plug on scripts and projects that aren't working. Case in point, the Blade reboot with Mahershala Ali signed on for an role of a vampire. You're using too many big words. Things looked promising for a 2023 release, but the project has gone through at least 5 writers, 2 directors, 1 shut down 6 weeks before production. One person familiar to the script, Permatuish, says the story at one point morphed into a narrative led by a woman and filled with life lessons. Oh my God, they literally said put a chick in it and make it lame. They literally said that. Blade was relegated to the 4th lead? A bizarre idea considering that the studio had a 2-time Oscar winner Ali on board. Is this the real world? Is this really what we're like? Whose fucking brilliant idea was that? What the fuck is going on? Oh my God, bro. Amid reports that Ali was ready to exit over script issues, Feige went back to the drawing board and hired Michael Green, the Oscar-nominated writer of Logan, to start anew. Speculation around the town is the studio is looking to make the film, now slated for 2025, on a budget of less than $100 million, a deviation from Marvel's big spending strategy. Oh, bro. Wow, wow, wee wah. I did not know that this was how we were. Okay. With Iger publicly acknowledging the downside of a Marvel TV glut that diluted focus and attention, the keepers of the comic book empire are considering some dramatic moves. Let's go. Let's get some dramatic moves going on. It's time. And like I told y'all, the real trick is just bring back the OG Avengers. Just bring back the OG Avengers. Sources say there have been talks to bring back some of the original gang for an Avengers movie. This would include reviving Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man and Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow, both of whom were killed off in Endgame. That shouldn't be a stumbling block. In comic books, beloved characters are often killed off, only to be resurrected thanks to the power of things like the multiverse. But the studio hasn't yet committed to the idea. Marvel, commit to the idea. Stop making Blade the 4th lead of a movie that's about a woman and her feelings, and just bring the Avengers back. One of these things sucks. One of these things is fucking awesome. Shut your goddamn mouth and bring back the OG Avengers. Jesus. Okay. I'm all over the place. But the studio hasn't committed to the idea. If it were able to bring back those actors, it wouldn't come cheap. Sources say Downey's upfront salary for Iron Man 3 was around $25 million. Shut your mouth and pay him $125 million. Here's an idea. Instead of spending whatever the fuck you were going to spend on Vision Quest, remaking Armor Wars into a movie, whatever you're going to spend on Wonder Man, whatever you were going to spend on, like, maybe just cancel that shit and get Robert Downey Jr. back. My God. Now, interestingly, as we've been saying before, right? Because we've been talking about this, right? We've been talking about this. One of the things that's kind of interesting is you guys have heard of acceleration theory, right? So, like, we're at a place where maybe Marvel wouldn't have done this, but now things are so bad that I do think we're going to get the OGs back. Like, I know that Variety's saying they haven't committed to the idea, but the fact that Variety is even floating it, it's possible the studio is going to look at how people respond to this article. It is possible that some of the information that's already being put out there is to gauge how we feel about bringing the OGs back. Okay? So I would just like to say, as a fan, I would like you to bring the OGs back. My God. Will that solve Marvel's Majors problem? When Quantumania actor was arrested in March, Disney executives insisted that they could afford to play a wait-and-see game, given the Avengers, the Kang Dynasty wasn't expected to begin shooting until early 2024. But then Majors was dropped in quick succession by his publicist and managers. He remains a client at WME, the agency where he landed after CAA parted ways with him for his brutal conduct. Okay. In April, other alleged domestic violence victims of Majors began cooperating with the Manhattan District Attorney's Office. Then, ahead of a key hearing in October, media outlets, including Variety, obtained a court filing that referenced a police incident in London involving Majors that led his ex-girlfriend to seek medical attention. Yeah, so this is also being underreported, and I think it's just because this whole case is like super contentious. Apparently, there's documentation of a past incident between these two same people in London, I think in 2021, where she had to seek medical attention for potentially harm that he had inflicted on her. When you combine that with the fact that they might have these other victims coming forward as well, and from what I've heard, the DA is very confident that they're going to be able to. Yeah. So, I mean, it really does not look good, guys. Yeah. Making matters even stickier, the ex-girlfriend also worked on Quantumania. Bro, no. As a movement coach, and the London incident took place where Majors was shooting. Okay, so maybe it's actually a different person, but it's still a person that he was connected to in London. Incident took place while Majors was shooting season 2 of Loki. On October 25th, a New York judge denied Majors' motion to dismiss the case, which ensures that the actor will stand trial in late November. His legal team is attempting to keep some material in the case sealed. His legal team is attempting to keep some of the material in the case sealed. A studio source noted that regardless of the actor's legal issues, Marvel already had considered moving away from the Majors-led phase because of the box office performance of Quantumania. Which will struggle to make a profit. It was trash. It gave people pause, given that Quantumania didn't exactly land, the source says. On October 27th, Disney removed another Majors film, Searchlight's Magazine Dreams, from the release calendar. Yeah, they might never be able to release it. We'll see. Recasting Majors is also an option, as Feige did when he replaced Terrence Howard on Iron Man 2 with Don Cheadle. In fact, Marvel isn't afraid to change direction, even after making splashy announcements. Armor Wars was first unveiled as a series and is now being developed as a feature. While the studio pushed to adapt comic book Inhumans into a feature film, generated headlines, but is now dormant. The now defunct Marvel Television mounted an Inhumans TV show in 2027, which ran for a season on ABC. Still, there was one bright spot in 2023, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which became Marvel's biggest draw of the year with $845 million, about $100 million less than Doctor Strange 3 if you're keeping track at home. The fact that it was directed by James Gunn, a guy now running rival DC Studios, was lost on no one. With Marvel, it used to be as close to a guarantee as you could get, says Paul Daragabadian, a box office analyst at ComScore. So going all in on the budget made sense. Guardians 3 was a bit overlooked in how successful it was, but that had James Gunn and Chris Pratt. And I think star power is becoming more important than there was Quantumania with $476 million. Anything under $500 million is viewed as a disappointment. And these overreaching expectations are a result of so much success over the years. Fascinating. The key to reinvigorating Marvel may lie with the superhero arsenal that Disney acquired during 2019 purchase of the 21st Century Fox. The deal brought several blue-chip heroes, such as the X-Men and the Fantastic Four, back under the studio's control. Already, fans are geeking out about next year's Deadpool 3, which unites Ryan Reynolds' Merc with a Mouth with Hugh Jackman Wolverine, and a reboot of the Fantastic Four, slated for 2025. As a bonus, the Fox editions give Feige an opportunity to reimagine the X-Men franchise, the very property he cut his teeth on as a young executive for Laura Schuler Donner's production company. Now that the WGA strike is in the rear view mirror, Marvel has started talking to writers about bringing the X-Men into the MCU fold. While Feige recalibrates, the rest of the industry is anxiously hoping that Marvel's best days are not behind them. Writing the Marvel obituary would be ill-advised, says Jason Squire, professor emeritus at USC School of Cinema Arts and the host of the Movie Business podcast. Kevin Feige is the Babe Ruth of movie executives, and Marvel has the most profitable track record in movie history. No question. Wow. What a crazy article. Wow, man. Crazy. So, okay. Couple of things that are worth mentioning here. Marvel knows that the sky is falling. We've talked about that a good bit. I mean, I've kind of been making videos for like over a year now that Marvel's aware of it. We did hear about this big retreat and how they were ironing stuff out. It's crazy that they even mentioned the fact that they could switch to Doctor Doom. And I just gotta say, man, as like a super big nerd and a big Marvel fan, is it not right in front of their face? Switch to Doctor Doom, bring the OG Avengers back, and that fixes like a lot of their problems. I also think canceling a lot of these projects would be good. Like, cancel some of these projects, write them down, write them off, whatever you have to do to save up money so that you can afford Robert Downey Jr., because you're going to need to pay him like $250 million for 5 or 6 projects, but it will fix the problems. I think the plan is simple. Switch to Doctor Doom and bring the OG Avengers back. Of course, the X-Men and the Fantastic Four are going to be good, but we want the OGs, I think. Now, they mentioned some stuff about the final episode of Loki, okay? Now, one thing I think is pretty interesting is like they're trying to act like they didn't do any reshoots or they didn't change things for Loki season 2. And maybe that is the case, but I don't think that's the case. And I think I see evidence in what we've already gotten that they've already made some changes. I mean, Kate Dickie was literally cast as an older Sylvie, and now she's Dox and she's dead, okay? I heard that the very end of this show will address the future for Kang. Now, what that could mean is it's going to set up Council of Kangs. It's just going to set that up, right? But what if they've changed it a bit and they're going to lean super hard into some other character? I don't think they're necessarily going to set up Doctor Doom, but I think they might just kind of lean more into some, honestly, some Loki stuff. You know, if you watch some of the videos that I've been making, I think there are some leaks and some evidence to suggest that they're going to do something really crazy with Loki at the end of this show. And maybe that was something they did to move away from the Jonathan Majors stuff. I'm not really sure, but what an interesting article. I guess let's stop for a second and just see if there's anything you guys want to talk about with regards to that article, because damn, what a doozy, huh? I didn't expect that. Wow, wow, wee wah. You could have Doom swoop in and just kill Kang. Bro, have Doom come in and slaughter the Council of Kangs. Easy. The Blade shit is wild. Bro, it's right there in black and white. Isn't it crazy? And like, look, I know people feel differently about some of this stuff, but, you know, again, the South Park, the Pandaverse thing, it does shine a light on some of the lazy, like, seemingly brainless stuff that happens in Hollywood. I mean, it's right there, man. They were going to make Blade the fourth lead of a movie? And it was going to surround literally, what does it say here? A lady and her feelings? I got to read this shit again. DaCosta leaves. Bro, the sky is falling. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. Okay. Even the kids' executives were talking about it, yeah. Oh, that is so crazy, dude. Okay. One person familiar with the script says the story at one point morphed into a narrative led by a woman filled with life lessons. No! Did they hire Kathleen Kennedy to like fix Blade? No! Oh, no! Oh! You gotta be kidding me, dude. Make it fucking lame. I know, right, dude? Like, oh. No! We can't be in this timeline. How are we in this timeline? Damn, man. And we haven't talked about Invincible at all. Man, that really kind of fucked me up, guys. That was a... what? Wow. The real story of Blade was the friends we made along the way. Yeah. Wow, wow, wee wah. So my wife is going to drag me to see Blade instead of the other way around. I mean, it seems like that. And now Feige's going to be like, oh, Mahershala, by the way, we're spending $100 million on this fucking thing, bro. But you spent 215 on Secret Invasion, which was so bad they low-key have to reboot because of it. Put a check in it. That's crazy. That's crazy. I forgot we were supposed to talk Invincible. I know, dude. I know. It's crazy. It's crazy. But I mean, like, that's... And, like, look, at the end of the day, I don't even think... like, is there an agenda behind it? For sure. But at the end of the day, it's really just laziness. Like, that's just fucking lazy, dude. Like, oh, my God. Bro, we need to find the real Kathleen Kennedy. I know. We got to go out through the Pandaverse and find the real one. Wow. I mean, I guess the good news, right? The silver lining is that they have talked about Doctor Doom. That's cool. They have talked about bringing the OGs back. That's cool. I mean, it seems like they at least know what the problems are. You know what I mean? I did see the Doom rumors. I mean, that's cool, man. Like, look, I'm going to do my part. I'm going to make a little video about Doom and talk about why they should shift to Doom. And I'll make a tweet right now. So, Marvel is really considering dropping Kang and going with Doctor Doom. Do it, Marvel. It will save your bullshit multiverse saga. Okay, you guys need to go tweet this and retweet this shit because we got to let them know. I mean, they got to know. You know, part of this I do think is just getting it out there for the peoples. I gotta find the right Doctor Doom gif. Hang on. Boom. Even Paul's talking about it. Come on, man. Come on, man. Let's go. I mean, it's gonna pop. It's gonna pop on social media. Look, again, I know it might seem a little toxic, going through it and feeling the way that we feel, but ultimately, I'm hopeful that by talking about it, by getting some of this stuff out there, like, we can give a little bit of feedback to Marvel and hopefully have them adjust this, because I mean, I still really do think, like, if you shift into Doom, you bring back some of these OGs, you're cooking with gas, man. Chillin says, yo, Josh and Nerd Avengers just in on a quick break. No idea what's going on, so I'll catch on the replay and possibly get triggered. Much love. Nerd Avengers feel like take my money. Yeah, bro. For sure. Go back and reread that. What, my tweet? Was it bad? Did I misspell something? So Marvel is really considering dropping Kang and going with Doctor Doom. Do it, Marvel. Oh yeah, I gotta edit. Do it, Marvel. This will save your bullshit multiverse saga. It sounds a little harsh. Sounds a little harsh, but it's true. Wow. That's crazy. I mean, I was not ready for that this morning, man. And like, on the one hand, it's like, oh yeah, no, dude, it's really bad. Maybe worse than some of us thought. But on the other hand, it's like, they do have options, Yeah. Whew. Wow. Wow, wee wah. That's crazy, guys. I'm still kind of shocked. Flabbergasted might be the word. Dude, even Chris, look at this. Chris Parker from 3C Films says, I used to roll my eyes when some would say the MCU is in shambles, but now, yeah, bro, been saying it, dude. Yeah, wow, dude. Just watching people like react to this is crazy, dude. Like, this is shattering. Dude. Wow. At least they know, man. At least they know. And at the end of the day, like, the writer's strike and the actor's strike may actually turn out to be kind of a little miracle for them, because it's giving them time to, like, fully evaluate this kind of stuff and just see what's going on. And, maybe they put some stuff together, and next year's San Diego Comic-Con would be epic. I got to do a poll too, because I see Grace is doing a poll. It's got to just be this. It's got to just be this simple. Do you want the OG Avengers to return? Yes or no? Please go vote on this poll on Twitter as well. Wow. Drop a link? All right, I'll drop a link. Boom. There's the link right there. I'm still in shock, dude. Whew. At what point is this Feige's fault? Oh, I mean, dude, the buck stops at Feige. Like, it is ultimately his fault. 100%. I just think at the end of the day, like, here's the deal, right? If it's his fault regardless, but if it's his fault because he's spread himself too thin and he can't personally craft this stuff the way that he did before, then it's his fault with a pretty simple solution. You know, take some of that stuff off of his plate, allow him to do his thing, slow down, get back to quality. Victoria's gone. I think they make a few changes, and really, at the end of the day, like, he's just got to be there. Except for the television stuff. They're apparently looking for an actual television executive. They're getting like actual showrunners for things now. So if they can get the right people over there, and then they can really have a collaboration, right, between Feige and the executive of television, maybe they can get some of these shows to work. I mean, dude, at the end of the day, like, oh man, we've talked a lot about this, but there's just a lot of issues with the current strategy. But some of these things they have as potential ways to fix it are brilliant, you know? Brilliant. So, wow. Wow. How crazy is it, though, that even before, like, the sky was falling, I was of the mind where I was like, dude, they need to bring the OGs back and they need to just flip into Doctor Doom, right? How crazy is it that we might actually get there? Now, the road we took to get there, I was not personally a fan of it. Very bumpy road, weird stops along the way, some detours, you know, didn't enjoy it. But ultimately, it is kind of bizarre that we might be heading towards Doctor Doom and bringing the OGs back. Like, let's go, baby. Like, I'm fucking in. I'm in. Yeah, I see the Planet of the Apes trailer. It is kind of funny. That is kind of funny. Wow. Guys, I'm still shook. I don't even know. Should we talk about Invincible? Like, I don't even know if we should. What should we do? I kind of feel like I might have to go make a video about this. Real talk. Isn't Black Widow dead? Yes, she is dead. Oh, man. How was your Halloween? It was good. It was good. It was nice. Hanging out with the fam. Got a lot of work done. I want to see another Godzilla movie. I think there's another one coming, isn't there? I feel bad because I like Majors. I would love for him to have a good part in the Doom storyline. I get you, bro, but I'm like way over it. Like, real talk, like, between Quantum Mania and Victor, stupid ass Timely, like, I'm sorry, bro. I'm not even feeling what he's doing. It would be different if I was like, oh shit, Major's killing it. Like, nah, bro. Like, all the, like, 2 post-credit scenes in Quantum Mania. The one, goofy ass Council of Kangs. Goofy ass Council of Kangs. Then, second trailer, or second post-credit scene, goofy ass Victor Timely. My man's got beat by ants. I'm just over it, dude. I don't care about Kang. I have negative caring about Kang. You're gonna make me lose it. You're gonna make me lose it. Get that Kang out of my face. Man, get that Kang out of my face. That's what it is. Darth Chibi, what up? Kang is literally over 3. It's true. It's true. Wow, man. Wow. What a world. What a time. I can't believe that I'm going to have to turn around and do a quick video today, too, because I had another video in the tank. But, I mean, how do you not talk about this? Holy shit. I might even clip some of the stuff out from the reading of it. Wild. Okay. Here's what we'll do. Let's watch a video about Invincible Season 2. Let's read an article about Invincible. And then I got to get out of here. I got to make this video. This is crazy, dude. This is crazy. Okay. No super chats? I'll go over super chats towards the end. Yeah, I'll go over super chats at the end of the stream, for sure.
And right after episode 8's release, Amazon announced that they're moving forward with seasons 2 and 3 of the show.
Yeah.
Robert Kirkman recently stated that he wants to go all the way to season 7, and with just how popular it is, it's likely that we will be seeing Mark Grayson on our screens for a long time. Now, the ending of episode 8 teases towards a lot of things coming in the future, and throughout this video, we're going to be giving our big predictions on what will be happening in it based off of the comics.
Yeah.
Full spoilers ahead from this point onwards, so if you haven't had a chance to check out the show, then I highly recommend that you check out now. If you enjoy it, then please smash the thumbs up button like Nolan smashed his son's face in, and subscribe for crap videos like this every day. With that out of the way, welcome to the Heavy Hangover Show. Probably shouldn't have went out last night, but I'm here now. Let's get into the breakdown.
Let's get into it.
Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about in this tease is the alien invaders who've shown up throughout the series.
Yeah.
When we last saw them, Nolan had entered their dimension, and he was destroying everything in sight. In the comics, we discover that they are very much terrified of him, and since his attack, they've attempted to rebuild their world. I'm guessing that the next spot of the invasion will be what we open season 2 with. In the comics, the majority of the arc that we have just followed took place over issues 1 to 13. The first year of the series culminated with the fight between Nolan and Mark.
Yeah, wrecked,
which
100%.
is how the
Man.
show
I'll talk about that
ends.
when we do Q&A.
Year 2 starts in issue 14.
How much was the
story
last
picks
shill
up
check?
with Invincible fighting alongside the Guardians of the Globe, tackling the very forces
They're probably
that
not
we
going
see
to like
here.
what I said on
Now, the
stream
battle
today,
doesn't
though.
last too long, and it's actually in this in the comics that the team discover that by destroying the wrist straps on the aliens, that they will rapidly age. The show changed things up to include this reveal earlier on in the season, so I'm guessing that we will likely pick up with one of the latter invasions, rather than having things just continue to play out how they were. They also stab a screen with Earth and Nolan's face on it, so it's likely that they're coming back to get revenge.
Yeah.
Now, if Mark doesn't have enough trouble on his hands with them, the Viltrumites, and more trying to invade, we've also got another invasion on top of that. The Sequids are still out in the galaxy, and after humanity traveled to the planet, they managed to take over an astronaut called Russ Livingston. In the series, we discovered that a native of Mars had shapeshifted into him, and in the comics he becomes a superhero called Shapesmith, who's basically a cross between Plastic Man and Martian Manhunter.
Cool.
In issue 38, he ends up teaming up with the Guardians of the Globe, and in 39, he divulges the history of the Sequids. Through him, we discover that they came to Mars in a damaged spaceship centuries ago. Strange warriors emerged from this craft and waged war on the planet. It was only upon defeating these creatures that the Martians realized it was actually the Sequid parasites all along who were behind it. I'll stop doing that crap job now. Because of their shape-shifting abilities, the Sequids were unable to attach to the Martians. However, the Martians found a use for them, and because they operated with a hive mind, they were used to carry out slave labor.
Damn.
Over the years, the Martians experimented on the creatures and genetically modified them to be stronger and faster. However, bloody conspiracy theorists, you know what they're like, they started to think that the Martian government had lied about their origins and that they were actually good creatures that had been turned into prisoners. An uprising on Mars started, and these rebels wished to gain a life form that the Sequids could bond with in order to free them. However, everyone that came to the planet was immediately executed. Thus, Shapesmith, who was part of this rebellion, took on the appearance of Russ, and the rebels managed to stick a Sequid on him. Now, as always with these bloody conspiracy theorists, things didn't go to plan, and the Sequids of course took over the planet. Because they were unable to attach to the Martians, they instead enslaved them, and in the comics we watch as they travel to Earth in order to take over the planet.
That would be nuts,
The Guardians that are strong enough not to be taken over by the Sequids travel into space in order to stop them, and they manage to. However, the Martians want to execute Shapesmith for his crimes, and thus Mark and co end up fleeing with him, much like how he did with the astronauts.
Yo, that's kind of cool. I'd love to see some of that stuff going on there. And I wonder too, because this video is 2 years ago and he's talking about stuff from the comics, but I don't think the multiverse stuff is in the comics whatsoever, right? Like, you guys help me out. I haven't gotten to any multiverse stuff in the comics yet, so I wonder if that's like a new element, because I've heard that like the first episode of season 2 is gonna potentially involve the multiverse in a really interesting way. Yeah.
On Mars. Now that's just a little funny joke that they put in, but I do like that they called back to that moment. Unfortunately, whilst they're in space, the Lizard League attack, and the other Guardians have to take them on, but they're severely outmatched. There's actually a lot of big deaths during this that I won't spoil here, but expect to see some of your favourites taken out next time.
Dang, that'd be cool.
In flashes, we can also catch Dr. Seismic, who is still alive. In a special one-off story called The Pact, we discover that he's been lying low in the Earth's core. Under the surface, he's now worshipped as a god by the creatures that live there, which are called the Magmanites.
Oh, watch those wrist rockets. You've never seen season 1?
But there's a
it was
big
phenomenal.
twist when Doc reveals that he's actually happy that he fell into the lava. Seismic sees himself as being over the hill, someone who never made it to being a big bad in his lifetime, and he knows that Mark views him as one of his lowly villains. However, in this domain, he's worshipped as a god, and he quite enjoys living there. Mark seems like he's happy for him, but he responds with an invincible punch and knocks him out. Elsewhere in the clips, we also catch Titan, who is now fully set up as a crime boss. Mark, of course,
like this character a lot. I thought it was pretty cool.
Position, and it's obvious that the two will be coming face to face down the line.
Yeah.
During the clip flashes in the episode, we do catch Mr. Lou entering his office, and we discover in the comics that there's actually a gang war going on between him and Titan. Lou heads up a group known as the Order, and they've been vying for control of crime across the country. Invincible ends up defeating Lou in the comics, much like how he did Titan, but I'm expecting a big episode focused on their gang war. We also catch D.A. Sinclair in the finale, working on new and improved Reanimen. Cecil looks over this, and though there are several possibilities that the plot could go off into, personally, I think it's going to be something that pits Mark against the GDA. In the comics, Cecil becomes annoyed with Mark after he starts doing his own thing. He very much wants to keep him under control and working for him, but Mark constantly takes matters into his own hands.
That's going to be cool. And of course, the sort of underpinning there, the tension is created because there's a question of like whether or not he'll just be like his dad or he'll end up, becoming a hardcore Viltrumite. So that's kind of fun. I'd like to see that for sure.
Is someone who always has a contingency plan, and after studying Mark during the fight with his father, he discovers that Viltrumites have a weakness. They can be hurt by a high-frequency sound, and Cecil unleashes this on Mark before he gets the Reanimen to attack him. Cecil believes that Mark has gone rogue, and not wanting a repeat of what happened with his father, he tries to take him out. Now, whether this will happen or not, we don't know yet, but the fact that the GDA was studying Mark's blood, I think it's pretty likely. We also catch Battle Beast, who's out in space.
I love Battle
what
Beast.
He does best.
I heard in an interview Kirkman talk about how we're going to get more Battle Beast in season 2. So let's go.
When we last saw him, he was leaving Earth after mopping the floor with the Guardians because the guy is an absolute badass. Now in the comics,
the multiverse is very important in the comics? Wow. Okay, I just haven't gotten to that then yet.
Alan the alien freed him, but due to the setup that we see in the show, I'm not sure if that will happen here. He did, however, join the forces of the Coalition, a group that Alan is a member of, who were attempting to take the Viltrumites down. Battle Beast denied throughout that he was actually helping the Coalition though, because the guy is such a badass. Now he also goes head to head with the leader of the Viltrumites at one point, who we discover is called Thrag. He's likely going to become the big bad in the show, and I really hope that we're introduced to him through Battle Beast, or as I call him, Badass Beast. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is what happened.
No, Trev, I have not read all of Invincible. I've heard some things, like I know about the ending and stuff like that, but
in the show, this has been changed to Saiyan's dog, but it's likely that they will keep this plot element in place. Now, the dog says that he needs Mark's help, and they travel across space to an alien world. It's revealed that the dog is actually wearing a costume, and that it's really an insect-like alien. Turns out it's been sent by Mark's father, who is now ruling over this world. Since failing his takeover of Earth, he's done what he told Mark he would, and the character has started again somewhere else.
I have the first compendium.
I'm just upon seeing him,
there's a lot I'm reading right now.
The pair can rekindle their beautiful, totally not abusive father and son relationship.
Yeah.
However, a big twist comes when Nolan reveals that he actually has another son. It also turns out that the Viltrumite scouts are coming to the planet, and Mark and Nolan have to team up and work together in order to take them down. I think that's probably going to be how season 2
That would be
ends,
sick.
and in my opinion, it will be the final episode. It just
Oh,
makes
that'd
sense
be
to
so
me to
cool,
have
yeah.
them work together, so it reflects the ending of the last season. I can't wait to see this moment play out.
What the
But
fuck?
there's so much to look forward to with Invincible, and what an incredible first season that was.
He's
You
banging
can't wait-
bugs? He's banging bugs. Just want to make sure. I mean, Blade's about a woman. We're eating bugs on Invincible. Okay, so let's read this article here. Then I'll get into Q&A for a little bit, guys. Then I got to get out of here, okay? Invincible Season 2 showrunner Simon. What is up with everybody's names being impossible to say today? You guys can't help me out at all? Defends the changes from the comics. Invincible showrunner Simon R. spoke with The Direct about how comics serve as the roadmap for the show, explaining that the source material is both similar and different from the adaptation in many ways. The animated series, based on Robert Kirkman's original comics, is returning to Amazon Prime Video for its second season on Friday, November 3rd. After a thrilling first season, fans are looking forward to the bold story planned for season 2. Invincible is uncommon in that essentially its entire plot is known already by fans, given how faithful of an adaptation it has been. However, the difference between the comics and the show are distinct enough to constantly warrant questioning of everything fans know, especially in a story with plot twist and intrigue of Invincible. Invincible showrunner talks comics versus show differences. In an interview with The Direct, Invincible showrunner Simon R. talked about how the show differs and remains faithful to the source material. Rick Kawapa said couldn't pinpoint on exact comic moments that fans should not expect to see in season 2, saying he hopes our fans get to see everything they're looking for in the new season. He added that while they didn't leave anything out, there are several new moments fans should be expected to see, such as an increased focus on Chandra Debbie Grayson. I mean, I hope our fans can see everything they're looking for in the new season. We didn't leave anything out. I think it's more about there's places where we expand the story. One of the things we do, we spend a lot more time with Debbie in season 2 than the comic books do, just because focus a bit more on her in the show than the books do. So that's something that's not in the books that you're going to see in the season. He then discussed how there is an effort to modernize things from the comics in the show, as well as take opportunities to improve on things a little bit and get a little bit deeper. He says here, there's other stories that we adapt slightly differently than they are in the books. So we modernize things. We bring them forward again. Robert is always happy when we have ideas to just improve things a little bit, get a little deeper, go a little bit further into the emotions of the storyline. But I don't think there's anything that we left out on purpose. It was more about finding what's best ways to adapt this. What's the best way to take this from book and put it into a different medium, into television. We try to follow the books pretty closely. Obviously, Robert's comic series, obviously, it's there. It's our roadmap. So even as we're working on season 1, I already had ideas for what season 2 could be, and so did he, and obviously beyond that. We sat down early on in the process and sort of looked at the books, and we look at where we ended, and we kind of find a place where, like, this would be a great ending of a season. So let's put a stake in the ground for that. That's where season 1 ends of the books. Then we sort of look at the in-between and we start placing things into episodes. It's a very organic and natural process. And there's places where we're like, this only 2 pages in the comics, but it felt like it could be an episode, or we just sort of pulled it open and we get into it a little bit more. We spent more time with these characters, so that's kind of how we planned out a season. I'm just excited. We have some big events. We have some great new actors and a great new cast, and we have a lot of the returning old cast. A couple of our characters really go through the ringer in season 2. Maybe Mark meets someone again for the first time, for the second time, or whatever. I mean, to me, great television is great drama, and that's it. What it means is the heightened emotions, scenes where characters are tested to their limits, both physically and emotionally. And I hope we do that in a couple of places this season. Kind of interesting. So there will be some changes. I'm excited to see what they are, and I'm pretty hyped up for Invincible season 2. Look, man, I'm still just kind of buzzing about this ridiculous Marvel story. So I'm probably going to get out of here, guys. I'll go over some of the super chats I'll hang in chat for a little bit, but then I got to get out here and I got to make a video about that because that's absolutely crazy. I'm also like really interested to see what people are saying about it on social medias because damn, that's crazy. Like, wow, wee wah, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God. Sorry about that. Wow, wee wah. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so we'll go over some of these. First in today was Orange Grove 55. Says, I have nothing against Gina, but when anyone tweets a 6-paragraph tweet, they lost. Come off as kind of butthurt and overly emotional, in my humble opinion. You know, I don't know. I don't know if I agree. I don't agree with the way that she's framing some things, but I'm actually kind of happy that she's out there speaking her mind and talking about this sort of stuff. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not going to co-sign anything she's saying, and I think that, you know, I gave my take on some of it on Monday. Some of this stuff is just regular PR practices, and I think that's what it is. But I will say I think that Disney handled the whole situation horribly, and they've opened themselves up to, you know, what's going on now and the discussions that she's having. So I'm not ready to co-sign what she's saying. I'm not going to start liking and retweeting her stuff, but I don't feel the same way that you do, Orange Grove. I actually think it's serving a purpose. Let's see here. Toxic says, immediately came here when I saw that the news dropped. LMFAO. Dude, wild, right? Were you here? Are you still in here, Toxic? Because damn, dude, that was wild. 15 bridges or no deal. Okay, I got you. Swaggy says, the problem with Marvels and Star Wars right now are the higher ups, such as Bob Iger and Kathleen Kennedy. They need to go. Yeah, or they just need to make better decisions. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, like, sure, you know, you could get them out of there and then maybe it'd be all right. But who knows? Maybe the next person comes in and makes stupid decisions. Like, the thing that's weird with Marvel, and the biggest difference between Marvel and Star Wars, is like Marvel has a track record of incredible success. Not just success, incredible success. So it's like you can look at that and say, well, why don't we just do what we did back then? You know what I mean? Star Wars really doesn't have that. I mean, The Force Awakens was incredibly successful, but they pretty slowly stopped receiving that level of success. So I don't know. It's a weird one. Lloyd says, we need to find the real Kathleen Kennedy. I know, right? Pretty crazy. Rect says, dropping Kang for Doctor Doom, wild. But Doctor Doom should have already been the villain. He's the main villain of both Secret Wars original and Hickman. Dude, you're absolutely correct, bro. You're absolutely correct. And I still think it plays. I think it plays. I mean, it's not like, frankly, it is not like there's a lot of evidence to suggest that a large portion of the Marvel fan base is loving the Kang thing and is down. That evidence really doesn't exist. So I think it might be wild to go with Doctor Doom, but I think it could be the move, man. I think it could be the move. Mike says they now know that they've made mistakes and they've oversaturated the market. That's what it comes down to. Yeah, that's a huge part of it. Absolutely a huge part of it, for sure. I don't think the old crew would have the same success as they did in the past. Don't you think we need a new great ideas? Bro, no. Look, do we need great ideas? Absolutely. Should they be new? Sure. But like, no, this idea that we shouldn't bring the OGs back because like we need all this newness and freshness. Bro, comics does this always. You change up the status quo and then you return to form. Always. Characters die, they come back. You always return to form. So, nah, man, like I completely reject the notion that we shouldn't bring the OG Avengers back. Like, I've been like desperately waiting for when they just bring the Avengers back, frankly. So, hell no, man. I think that's what you got to do. Didn't Doom kill or capture Kang in the OG Secret Wars, like right at the beginning? Because he's a legit threat, which is cool, just not as cool as Doom. I don't remember exactly. I remember Doom. I think they kick Doom. Don't they kick Doom out of the group or whatever? And then he takes over Ultron. He like reprograms Ultron, if I remember correctly. but I don't remember him taking Kang out like right away. Maybe he did. I think Magneto was like randomly with the heroes at the start of Secret Wars, if I remember correctly, and then they're like, "What? Get out of here! Get out of here!" These aren't the comics, LOL. I mean, yeah, you're right, but that's a weird thing to say, brother. We are literally talking about comic book movies, and we're talking about a studio that's done like $30 billion by adapting some of the coolest comic book things. Now, they change them up, but it's like, what are you talking about? When you make a statement like that, like, what are you saying? But this isn't comics. It's like, bro, we know. At the same time, principles that have worked in comics have been working for Marvel. Like, I don't understand why this is such a wild idea. I'm starting to get pissed off, frankly. Vandolph says, OG Avengers, not OG actors. Cycle like James Bond. I think they'll do that. I think they will cycle some of them, but I also think there's no reason that you don't bring RDJ back. I mean, guys, do you not remember what it was like having Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man? Like, do you not remember? Like, what? Look, I'm down for some new characters, particularly when it comes to T'Challa. You obviously have to recast. I think that you can bring some new people in. He's not coming back, dude. I mean, scientific lens. Like, what's it going to take? How many times do I have to say it? How many times do the trades have to say it? Like, it's possible he doesn't come back. But if you don't think they're having discussions and it's a very real thing, like, you think everybody's making it? Everybody's making it up. I'm making it up. Variety's making it up. Joanna Robinson's making it up. Can we get some toast? Fucking My Time to Shine. Everybody's just making it up. But you, Scientific Lens, you know what's going on. You sitting back at work. You literally just chilling. Maybe you're in the bathroom right now, just getting it in. You definitely know what's going on. Holy shit. He's not coming back, dude. I know, because my name's Scientific Lens. Jesus Christ. He said he's not. Oh, cue the million fucking times that actors say shit counter to what the actual plan is. Andrew Garfield for a year plus saying that it feels like he's playing werewolf, but this motherfucker's over here like, oh, he said he's not coming back. He said he's not coming back. I'm sorry, Scientific fucking whatever the bullshit ass name. God damn it. He's not coming back, dude. He said he's not. Remember what Tatiana Maslany said on, I think it was Jimmy Fallon, when asked about being She-Hulk? Do you remember? She was like, oh, that's absolutely not true. And this has happened to me before. And it's like a rumor thing. And like, oh man, like these rumor things, they get me into trouble. And like, she shot it down in such a, and I bet Scientific Lens dude was like, she's clearly not She-Hulk. In fact, I bet Scientific Lens, where are you at, motherfucker? I bet you still don't think Tatiana Maslany is She-Hulk because she said she's not. I'm about to go full Bill Burr Philly rant on you motherfuckers. Holy shit. She said she's not. Scientific Lens, you motherfucker. Okay, anyway. I'm going to get out of here. I really appreciate you all. Thank you so much for being here. Having a lot of fun like we always do. Keeping it nice and chill like we always do. Treating the fans, the viewers, real good like we always do. I appreciate you guys, though. I really do. Little discombobulated on all this news and everything that's going on. So I gotta get out of here. I gotta gather myself, and I gotta go. make a video about this shit. I like Trigger Josh. P.S. He's not coming back. He said so. Oh my. Holy shit. Woo! All right, everybody. I appreciate you. Check out the video later. Tomorrow night, we're watching Loki episode 5. Unless Marvel Studios puts out the whole episode in a trailer because the sky is falling. All right, I got to get out of here. Much love. As I always say, I hope you, Jet, are having an awesome and a nerdy day. And I'll see you in the next video. He said he's not. He's not coming back, dude. Is everybody gone? Did everybody leave? What a wild stream. Yeah. What a wild time. What a crazy stream. Yeah, I appreciate you guys. You guys are the best. And look, it's okay for us to disagree. You know, we can have differing opinions about this, but you know, as long as we all just spread that love and positivity, I think it's gonna be okay. All right, everybody. Appreciate you. Take care of yourself. Even you, Scientific Lens. I hope you have a good day. And I hope they confirm Robert Downey Jr. returning soon so I can rub it in your big stupid face. Anyway, all right. Open up that third eye. And wash out your stinky butt. Oh!